build a ship, don't gather people together to collect wood, and don't assign tasks and work. Rather, teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. This is a quote from a French author whose name I cannot pronounce and therefore will not mention, but it's also a quote that really resonates with me as a leader and the platform that I'm about to present to you tonight. My name is Natalie Vergara, and I'm running for local committee president of AIESEC Appalachian for the following year. Why? Why is a question that's at the center of this organization. When we pitch, we're told to mention the why first. Why is it that we spend countless hours working for an organization when we're not even being paid? Why are we passionate about all of the causes that we choose to work for? And so I want to bring this concept in and let you know why I want to be local committee president of AIESEC Appalachian. And that is because, excuse me, that is because I believe in every single member in this room. I'm very much a member-driven leader. I care about each and every individual person reaching their own goals, and in that way, the local committee as a whole will be reaching their goals as well. So it's not just about my vision for the LC, it's about collaboration and making sure that everybody's goals are met as well. We all know that AIESEC's mission statement is the peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. This is the way that we recruited you guys. We do value-based recruitment because the values of AIESEC are truly what's important in this organization. And yet, that is something that's lost when we go into our processes. We tend to focus on numbers, paperwork, day-to-day activities, and we forget that the reason why you guys are here are the values that the organization brings, the goals that we're trying to achieve. So my question is, why are we not motivating you guys with these same values all the way through? Because yes, processes are important. Yes, strategy is important, and of course those things matter to me. But I also want to make sure that everybody is motivated and everybody is contributing to work. Which brings me to leadership. So, as we go along in our pitch, the second thing is that AIESEC is a leadership development platform. This is how we achieve our goals. The thing is, I've noticed as a local committee, we don't actively try to develop leaders. Instead, we assume that by handing you a job description with specific tasks, that you will inherently become a leader, and that is not true. We should be pushing you guys more. We should make sure that there's lead sessions during local committee meetings. We should make sure that every single executive board member understands that they're not only responsible for the numbers they're creating and the innovation they're creating in their functions, they're also responsible for your guys' experience, for your development as a leader. Because if we're promising you that we're a leadership development program, shouldn't we be focusing on that as well? And this leads into our exchange participants. Because we tell them by going abroad, they're going to become better leaders. But a thing that we're taught in incoming exchange is that just because you're offering an internship to somebody, that does not inherently mean they're going to be gaining leadership development. And so that falls into the hands of the LC. So I believe that we should not only be actively engaging you guys in leadership, we should be actively engaging our exchange participants by making sure that before they set foot in that airport, they've already gone through an OPS that has given them the tools to start developing as a leader while they go abroad. That when they come back, we set a foundation so that they continue to develop as leaders way past their experience with AIESEC. In the same way that I want all of you to develop as leaders way past the time you've left AIESEC. It's about sustainability. Because AIESEC does most of its impact outside of the organization. And that's what we should also be focusing on. The development of our members is directly connected to the pursuit of our mission. By making sure that our members are well developed, that they're well educated within every facet of this organization, they will be motivated to work. Because when you're passionate about something, you will commit endless hours, and that is where our results will come from. So I can sit here and I can tell you the exact strategies I think we need to get from point A to point B. perfect game plan, you guys wouldn't care if you weren't motivated and if you didn't feel connected to that mission. So that leads me to strategy. Strategy is important. And I know I've been talking about membership development and leadership. But if we develop all of our members, if they're all well educated, you guys will start coming up with strategies that we can collaborate together on. Because what I'm good at and what I'm confident at as a leader is having an outline and making sure that every single person can collaborate with that outline. Because once you guys are united within this strategy and connected to the end goal, that's when we'll really start to soar. So yes, I can tell you that I believe that all functional teams should be synergized, that our support functions, or resource functions, excuse me, should be just as, if not more important, than our exchange functions. We shouldn't only be focusing on our exchange functions, because our resource functions is what leads or adds the foundation to what we do in exchange. Without talent management, without marketing, without finance, I would not have a job. Half of you wouldn't be here. They could continue operating, I don't know what, but they could still function, but exchange functions couldn't. So my question is, why is it that we're not focusing more on those functions and how they can help drive exchange? Impact. This is my inspiration for being an AIESEC. This is my inspiration for being an incoming exchange. My parents are from a third world country. I understand what it is like to have people who are qualified and don't have the opportunity to travel to come to the United States. I understand the importance of knowing other cultures and assimilating to those cultures and having a broader understanding of the world in general. The impact we make, while it is quantified by our numbers, is separate from application numbers or EPs we sent abroad. The difference being that a year from now, I would rather say we had, let's say, 100 exchanges where we can guarantee that we made a positive impact in these people's lives, that they're going to go on and they're going to take up leadership positions and they're going to fight for what they believe in, rather than saying we did 200 exchanges, but half of these EPs are not satisfied. Our members left because we weren't reinforcing what they believed in. So, to go back, if you want to build a ship, don't gather people together to collect wood. Don't assign tasks and work. Rather, teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. My name is Natalie Vergara, and I would be honored if you gave me the opportunity to lead you as local committee president of AIESEC Appalachian in 2016.
I'll take 3 questions again for Natalie. The first one is a virtual question. Very helpful.
This is actually for Sam Pumpkin.
Hi, Sam!
Yeah, she asked, how will you ensure leadership is developed through exchange rather than becoming a separate strategy that doesn't drive exchange?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. How will you ensure leadership is developed through exchange rather than becoming a separate strategy that doesn't drive exchange?
I have a follow-up question, just to clarify, but I want you to answer it.
Never mind, she answered that in her speech, I think. Never mind.
Okay. Well, that was a great question. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, so obviously you care a lot about member development and leadership development, which is essentially the core of AIESEC, but you haven't had any actual results in your function so far, and the only raise has been from another VP. How can you promise that you're going to be developing members and EPs when you haven't had any results yet?
Okay. So I actually had the highest retention rate of any function last year. And that's saying something because across the nation, AIESEC has the lowest retention rate. Usually everybody leaves. And while, yes, it is true that our only raise was made from another VP, I I would argue that that was because I made sure that ICX actually had a voice this year. Because before my term, nobody talked about incoming exchange and nobody cared. Furthermore, I set up the platform and the foundation for ICX to grow sustainably. So yes, we don't have numbers yet, but I'm sure and I'm super excited for my successor because we set up the foundation so that in the future, incoming exchange will start to create more numbers and more exchanges.
So this is like all the candidates, and especially you, you're really passionate about like this whole like making sure that your members and EPs are getting this leadership development. But I don't even think it's just a US thing, I think it's an international thing. I do think a lot of people just kind of talk about it. And so like there aren't the resources for it. Like it's something you could go like, yes, I want to give everybody lead, but where do I find it? So what do you plan to do to like help create the innovation or to even find the resources to really make sure that lead is given properly and in the right ways for everybody?
So I've had a lot of instances within ISEC and outside of my life where, or outside of ISEC, not outside of my life. That would be strange. Anyways, outside of ISEC, where I've been placed into roles where, yes, things haven't been fully developed. So for example, our global citizen were a pilot. At the beginning, I knew nothing. And so it's a lot about creating our own resources, learning from other organizations, and not being afraid to pull things and trying to figure it out. And so like that in and of itself will be a learning experience. But I believe that my VP term and in talking to a lot of you guys one-on-one and understanding what you want from the organization, we'll be able to develop that. So like I may not have an exact answer, which happens a lot, as we all know, but it's something that I'm super passionate about, and I know that I'll be able to look into and figure out how to do that with the help of MC or AI or people outside of ISEC. And just because we don't have those resources right now doesn't mean we should not be investing the time to figuring out how we can make that happen.
One more question.
Anyone?
No? Okay, cool. So thanks, Natalie.